This week's RNC focused largely on personal stories of ordinary Americans. It certainly did feature some stars of the GOP. Senator Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee told the nation Democrats want to cancel our heroes. She joins us now to discuss her remarks, the Republicans' fight to maintain control of the Senate, and the presidential campaign. Senator, thank you for being with us here on America Right Now on Newsmax TV.
Yes, good to be with you. Thank you.
What did you think was the most effective part of the convention for Republicans? What do you think resonated the most?
What I'm hearing from people really resonated with them was the stories that they heard from individuals who were small business owners, who were law enforcement officers, and the story of Alice Johnson and the way she overcame her adversities with the help of the president in the First Step program. And then, of course, his following with a pardon for her on Friday. That is something that so many people have mentioned, that it touched them so deeply. They also liked seeing the naturalization ceremony take place. And these are the things that it is ordinary people who have done something extraordinary or have gone from a life that had adversity to a life of optimism and excellence. And those are inspirational stories. As I like to say, it is how many times the richness of our life comes from taking the mundane, those tasks and skills that we develop by everyday task, and then turning that into something magnificent.
Yeah, exceptional people doing exceptional things. I want to play a clip from your speech paying tribute to our law enforcement and military heroes. Take a listen.
But tonight, I want to talk to you about another kind of hero. The kind Democrats don't recognize because they don't fit into their narrative. I'm talking about the heroes of our law enforcement and armed services. Leftists try to turn them into villains. They want to cancel them. But I'm here to tell you, these heroes can't be canceled.
Now, you're from the volunteer state, so you know, people in Tennessee know a thing or two about public service, but elaborate a little bit more for our audience on what you meant by canceling our heroes.
Yes, one of the things that I noticed from the Democrat convention was that they did not take time to say thank you to our men and women in uniform who protect this nation every day. They didn't say thank you to the first responders and the law enforcement officers who are just enduring such hatred from individuals. You know, yesterday I saw some footage of a law enforcement officer who someone from a crowd threw a hubcap at his head. And this is what they're enduring every single day. And what individuals want is for their communities and their families to be safe. And it was just so striking to me that the Democrats decided they were not going to take that time out and say thank you to the thin blue line. Thank you for being there to separate calm from chaos.
In your speech, you also pointed out the hypocrisy of Democrats wanting to keep churches closed, but liquor stores, pot shops, and abortion clinics open. I thought that was a pretty good line. I wanted to switch topics here. The Senate majority is really going to go down to the wire. There are 23 Republicans and only 12 Democrats up for re-election. A lot of people are saying that this is not going to be easy. How do you assess the GOP's chances at this point, and why?
I assess our chances as being very good. I am leading the Targeted State Victory Program for my Senate colleagues. And not only are we doing really well in these states that are close states, Maine, North Carolina, Iowa, Colorado, Arizona, you also have us doing well in places like New Mexico, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and also Alabama.
Your constituents in Tennessee, what are they telling you is the most important issue in this election for them? You're on the ground talking to people every day.
What we're hearing is security, safety and security of our neighborhoods, job security, healthcare security, getting government to a position where they're not blocking you from going back to work and back to school, but they're working with you to get those schools open, to get individuals back to work. Everyone, I talked to one business owner this week, and they have about 100 positions that are open that they are trying to fill, and they need people to get back to work.
And I see that you have a new book out. It's right behind you. I want to give you an opportunity here to talk about it. Senator Marsha Blackburn, The Mind of a Conservative Woman. And there are more Republican women running for office, I believe, this year, correct me if I'm wrong, than at any other time. And certainly women are going to be key to whether or not the Senate GOP retains their majority. And what can they learn from your book?
My book is a great history of conservatism, how we got to modern day conservatism, what conservatism really is, and then also for women who want to be able to defend their value system and be able to tell their children, this is what we believe and why. You've got some guidelines in there, great ways to enter into those conversations. We know that conservative women have been fierce defenders of our nation's freedom and liberty. And we know that many times it is non-traditional leaders that step up and lead their nation back to a path of freedom. Certainly, we heard from a lot of conservative women this week during the RNC. And this is a great way to say, hey, this is what we believe, why we believe, and this is how we're going to defend those beliefs.
Senator, what do most campaigns, and particularly Republican campaigns, because there is a gender gap, what do they get wrong about addressing Republican addressing women voters in particular?
You know, so many times they believe what the mainstream media has to say about female voters, but they forget that there are a legion of women out there who say they're neither Democrat nor Republican, they're independent. And these are women who are pro-life, pro-family. They are pro-business, pro-military, and the media kind of pushes them and their opinions aside. So it is important for those that are running this year to realize that many times it is the female, the mom in the household, that is really leading these discussions on principles and values and where you stand on different political issues. And that is why it is so important for us to talk about what conservatism is. You know, if you listen to the mainstream media, you would think that conservatives are old, gray-haired, greedy guys that are in office and trying to just protect themselves. You don't realize that conservatives are the ones who are fierce defenders of faith, family, freedom, hope, and opportunity for everyone.
And we certainly heard a lot about all of those things this week at the RNC. Senator Marsha Blackburn, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. Good to be with you.